this is like the final frontier when we're talking about nutrition and health and where we're at with science right now. And the M is your microbiome makeup. The makeup of your microbiome has a massive impact on your body's association with calories. This is part of the lexicon now. I know just about everybody listening has probably heard of the microbiome, right? This incredible ecology, this dynamic plethora of microbes that inhabit our bodies, that are in and on our bodies. Even right now, dude, you got like 400 trillion viruses.
Yeah, I know.
The viruses are on people's mind.
Bugs.
Right.
All over the body.
All over.
Isn't that crazy?
400 trillion. And many of them are opportunistic, right? But that means that when you're compromised, they can take control. But the thing is, why are they around? They all play a role. It's not good or bad. It's about us being in a good state of health, because viruses have actually helped us to evolve as humans. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, when the human genome was decoded, they found that the human gene itself is 8% virus.
Right. It's like alien, right? It's like a...
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And we're at war with these things. We're at war with microbes. We want to kill viruses. We want to kill bacteria. Not to say that novel things or things that the body doesn't have an innate immunity towards, we shouldn't be careful about. But we also have an adaptive immune system, that this is how we got here. And what the greatest science that we have right now shows that our immune system itself was started by viruses that were defending itself against other viruses. And that's how we became the kind of dynamic adaptive immune system that we have today. And so this is the B cells, T cells, these interferons, natural killer cells, all these things. So, but going back to the microbiome and the association with calories, this is gonna freak you out. Listen to this. So, to start with, this was published in the journal Cell. They found that there's specific bacteria in mice that actually block their intestines from absorbing as many calories. All right. So the bacteria in their gut blocked the absorption of calories. Now, some folks are like, well, we're not mice. I get that. Now we have human studies, and now we know that folks that start to lean into being overweight and obese, there's a very distinct shift in the microbiome cascade. We can literally just look at somebody's microbiome cascade, not even know what they look like, what their body composition is, and know that they're overweight based on their bacteria. All right. And so what they did was they took these human, quote, fat bacteria and implanted them into lean mice. And what happened was the mice who had the fat bacteria put into their bodies began to gain weight. They became insulin resistant and gained body fat rapidly, versus taking human samples from healthy test subjects, lean test subjects, and putting them into mice. And they stayed lean. All right. Well, I'm getting excited. This is the one. This study right here is the freakiest one to me. They took identical twins. All right. Humans. Yeah. They took identical twins and they looked at their microbiome cascade, and they found that these are identical twins, same caloric intake. All right. The twin who had a higher ratio of bacteria associated with obesity gained more weight, had a tendency towards gaining more weight and body fat, even though they're eating the same diet and they're identical freaking people. They're identical twins. The calories became such a lower tier thing. They're eating the same amount, yet one's gaining fat and one isn't. So this conversation is so much bigger than just managing calories and telling your patients that they need to be in a caloric deficit. We're way past that right now. These things matter. They absolutely matter. But there's so much more to the picture, and so many people are suffering because they keep doing calorie restricting and trying all these different diets and not understanding we need to get your microbiome healthy.
How do we get the microbiome healthy? So that's the solution.
Yeah.
It's focusing on the microbiome, not the calorie deficit.
Yeah, this is a big part of the book too. We focus on these things. So
yeah.
We can get into that. So one of the most important things that the research is showing is that one of the most remarkable things in association with fat loss and weight loss is associated with having a higher diversity of microbes in your gut, specifically bacteria. The higher the diversity, the lower your body weight and body fat percentage, the correlation. The problem is, here in the Western world, our diversity of our microbes is just like we've got a lot of endangered species and a lot of things are extinct versus folks who are in more of a kind of an indigenous culture.
A plethora of fruits and vegetables and uniqueness, right?
Somewhere around 4 times as many different microbes, right? So take yours, multiply it times 4, the different species of microbes, all right? So in the Western world, our diversity is going down. And this is also associated with some of the problems we're seeing that we think it's just associated to, it's people they don't have willpower, end of story.
Right.
But here in the United States, and I want people to really get this, we have an epidemic. And nobody's talking about this. And nobody's talking about this right now in association to the problems we're seeing. We have an epidemic of obesity. Over 200 million people here in this country right now are overweight or obese. All right?
What's the definition of obesity?
Obesity.
How much
this is
body fat or percentage?
Unfortunately, this is tied to some questionable metrics with BMI, because
Body
somebody
mass
can
index.
have a lot of muscle on their frame. But we're not talking about that, all right? We're talking about, we know what's happening here in the United States. And a recent study came out, this meta-analysis determined that about only 12% of United States citizens are metabolically healthy, all right? So we got over 200 million people who are overweight or obese.
How much body fat is overweight on a person? Or how much body fat percentage would that be? Is this
it depends.
20%, 30%? What's the...
I mean, even these numbers, man, can be a little bit... for example, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthier because your body fat percentage is low.
Right.
Like I had a 4.6% body fat at one point. I was not healthy.
Right.
Right. But just in general, guys can be somewhere in the ballpark of 12%, 15%. And that's still, but then it's just like the vanity aspect. Like I can't see my lines.
Yeah, exactly. Because right now I'm like 16%.
Yeah.
And I just checked.
But you're a healthy guy. Like this is what I'm saying. Like when I say that it depends on you, these numbers, we have a big problem with these numbers.
Yeah.
But I'm using the numbers as a leverage as far as with statistics to try to get our eyes open. But there's so much variance within that. Because again, some people would sell name their firstborn child Rumpelstiltskin, to have your body.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, we got to keep this stuff in context.
Sure.
Now,
okay.
200 million people in the United States
are obese.
Obese or overweight.
Yeah.
On top of that, over 130 million people in the United States have type 2 diabetes or prediabetes.
130?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy. So diabetes or prediabetes. And on top of that, about 60% of the United States population has some degree of heart disease. Right now.
What does heart disease consist of? What are the types of heart disease in that category?
So this is such a diverse topic too, because even our definition of these things is a little skewed. Hardening of the arteries, for example. Like how does all this stuff work? But I want to point back to a really important point because I don't want this to go left unsaid. Some of my best friends are the top cardiovascular surgeon in the world or the top gastroenterologist in the United States, right? These are my friends, colleagues, and they will tell you, so top gastroenterologist, just talked with him recently. He was in school for 15 years, 15 years. And he shared with me he specializes in the treatment of systems associated with digesting your food. The systems
That's all he
and
does.
organs. But guess how much education he got on food?
1 month?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Even a month versus 15 years of education, learning about food for 2 weeks. You treat organs that deal with food.
Right.
We have a big problem. So in the cardiovascular domain, same thing. Elective, right? And your heart is made of the food that you eat. Your arteries are made of the food that you eat. Your blood is made of the food that you eat. How do we not have an education on these things? Our attention is so, the system itself, these are incredibly smart people. These are some of the best and brightest. But if you take a really smart person and you miseducate them or you teach them the wrong thing, they become world-class at doing the wrong thing. And we keep trying to treat symptoms. Right. We're treating the symptoms of not knowing how food creates all these things. So it is that deep. This is how powerful food is. You know, it becomes everything about you. The things you see in the mirror, how you feel, it's all based on food. You know, it's so powerful. So
what if we're talking about how to optimize the microbiome?
Yeah.
And I'm hearing you say it's the diversity of the whole foods that we should be eating. And in America specifically, we have very limited diversity of these whole foods, these vegetables, these fruits, these healthy fats and meats and nuts, I'm assuming. Is that what it is?
Yes.
It's having a diversity. And the more diverse we can have, the better our microbiome makeup will become.
Yep. And in the book, I cite a brand new study that found that increasing your diversity in your fruits and vegetables inherently increases the diversity of your microbes. So this is a very simple thing we can do. Even if we're eating healthy, we tend to get caught in our little like food meal prep gone awry. You know what I mean? Like chicken, rice,
Yeah, same thing
broccoli,
every day.
chicken, rice, broccoli, you know? But I'm eating healthier compared to but what are you doing for your microbes? They need a diversity. And really the heart of the matter is, I've been talking about probiotics for 15 years.
Taking probiotics.
Yeah, not taking, but just the science of probiotics. And of course, that's one input. But you can take all the probiotics you want. They're not going to colonize if they don't have the food that they want. It's kind of like going to a party and you're hungry and they don't have snacks that you want. You're gonna have to leave there soon and hit Del Taco. You know,
Taco
whatever.
Bell life, baby.
You know?
I've been at Taco Bell about 10 years.
Dude, I would get the 10 pack.
Oh man. Back in St. Louis. Getting Taco Bell.
We've come a long way.
Steak and shake. Oh man.
That's if you want to get fancy, you know? So here's the thing.
Man.
And it's so wonderful because, you know, when we get into these principles and how all of this stuff kind of fits together, this is a simple input, is increasing the diversity of the fruits and vegetables helps to create the preferred food choice or the prebiotics. So there's probiotics, prebiotics. Prebiotics are the food that the microbes want in order for them to stick around. So we're losing all of these species because they don't have their preferred food in our system anymore, all right? And then we have postbiotics. So we have pre, pro, and post. The postbiotics are basically the vitamins, minerals, scafas, these short chain fatty acids, all the nutrients your bacteria create in you for you. It's a symbiotic relationship. And that's really the front line right now. It's like I said, the final frontier that we're studying.
If you're looking for more greatness in your life, make sure to check out this video right here. And also check out our free PDF, The 3 Secrets to Unlock the Power of Your Mind to help you change your life. Download it right here.
You can actually start to see when I have this thought, here's the sensation in my body. And you start to get so attuned to what's happening, what stimuli is happening within you that's producing these sensations that cause you to either take action or not, retreat or move forward.